Alliteration means repeating the same sound words in the poem in a line. Bullet hole is very small, but the impact on the body is large. This woman is a challenging lady who wants to earn. She can sit in a place and beg for the money. Khandoba is a Hindu god who is known for warriorship. Hello everyone, this is Shobita S. Aradhya, lecturer, Department of English, Vidhyaashram Pre-University College, a Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. Today, I welcome you all like an old woman. Do you know why? Because we are going to know about the poem An Old Woman by Arun Kolatkar. So, he sketches the character of an old woman. So let us know more about Arun Kolatkar and also the poem An Old Woman. So before I start, I would like to tell you that this is how we are going to study the poem in this session. We'll know who the poet is and what is the title, why is the title, and then theme of the poem. What is the theme of the poem and significance of the poem, then the moral of the poem, importantly the poetic devices used in this poem, and then we'll discuss the summary. Later we'll go to question and answers. Which are the questions which are important for your examinations? Questions and answers, and finally conclusion. So this is how we'll proceed with the poem today. So I hope you are following it. Remember, this is how we'll go throughout the poem. This is how we are going to study the poem today. Arun Kolatkar, he is a Marathi writer and a bilingual poet. He writes both in Marathi and English. He himself is a graphic artist, and also he has won the Commonwealth Poetry Prize. So after Kabir, he is the one who has won the Commonwealth Poetry Prize in India, and he has translated many Marathi poems to English. Not only his, others' poems also are translated by him to English. This is about Arun Kolatkar. This title, why is this poem given the title An Old Woman? Because this is a character sketch of an old woman who wants money. She wants to earn money. She doesn't resolve to beg, but she wants to earn her money. And she is old. She doesn't want to resort to beggary. So this is a character sketch of a old woman who has wrinkles on her neck and before the eyes. So we will be studying about the old woman. So only is the title An Old Woman. If we go for theme, what is the theme? Keeping what is important and perspective. So what the poet is trying to tell us through this poem is to keep what is important in life and what is perspective. What should we see in someone? There will be few things which are very important. So to keep them along with us for lifetime and to be perspective, to know what to know about a person. And an old woman and her heritage is told in this poem. This poem is not only about an old woman, this is about every woman, how they go through their life, what they do for dear ones. All those is told in this poem, keeping an old woman before us. And also it tells about the land from where she comes. So the heritage of the land and the woman is both shown in this poem. This is the theme of the poem. When we go next, we should see the moral. What is the moral of the poem? the visitor's attitude towards the old woman changes. So when he goes to the temple there, in the first sight, his attitude towards the woman was different, and when he has the conversation and when he is about to leave the temple, his perception about the woman completely changes. So that is the moral of the poem. Poetic devices used in the poem are alliteration. Alliteration means repeating the same sound words in the poem in a line. Like we see, she says, she will. Again and again the same sound words are used in the poem. And horseshoe shrine, again sh sound, yes, sh sound is used again and again in the same line. So those are called alliteration. So figures of speech, alliteration is used in this poem. Next comes metaphor. Metaphor means here not only comparing, telling it is the same. If we compare, we call it simile, but metaphor, it is the same thing. Or like here her face is compared to the landscapes. Her wrinkles on the face is compared to the landscapes where it has many cracks. So next is blue sky and her eyes. So her eyes are shown, or the poet feels that her eyes are like wide sky, wide blue sky. So he doesn't say they are like blue sky. He says her eyes are blue sky. He says her face is the landscape around her. So this is metaphor. Next is anaphora. Anaphora means the same words are repeated. Like in every stanza, the same words. We can see and, she and you in every stanza. This is known as anaphora. These are the poetic devices used in the poem. If we go next, we'll see the summary of the poem. So the whole poem I have pointed it and we'll study as the points. The first thing we learn in this poem is society and the surrounding place of Khandoba temple. Khandoba is a Hindu god who is known for warriorship. So in the place called Jejuri in Maharashtra, so there is this woman living. So what she does, she is near and around the temple in Jejuri, and there she thinks herself as the guide. She has become a guide there. Imagine an old woman and guide. How it works? Can she go around everywhere and show the places? That we'll know later. So this is the society and the surrounding of Khandoba temple in Maharashtra. And an old woman, she tries to earn money from the pilgrims who visits the temple. This is a famous temple in Maharashtra. Many people come there to visit the temple, and when they come there, she forcibly takes them to show some places where she can walk. So mainly she takes people to the horseshoe shrine. She forcibly takes them, show the place and asks money from them. How much does she ask? She is not asking the heavy amount. She asks just about 50 paise from them. The amount is just 50 paise. And she is an old lady, and if anyone fails to do something, it haunts him or her. When an old woman at that age tries to earn money, instead of begging, she tries to earn money. When she is doing so, and the amount she is asking is just 50 paise, very small amount. When people cannot give her that much of money, that will haunt them. Even they go home, that will be haunting them. They feel, I would have given at least 50 paise to that woman. So if anyone fails, they will have the feeling of haunting. She is a little adamant. Notice the word adamant. If anybody, the pilgrims or here the speaker, he refuses to give her the money, but she becomes very adamant. She pulls them, she holds his sleeves and pulls him to the horseshoe shrine, shows there and demands 50 paise from him. Here we continue with the summary of the poem. The speaker may want to dismiss her because she is an old woman. He tries to dismiss her. He wants to get rid of her because she is old woman. But what she does, she is adamant and she looks at him and explains her conditions in the hills. So the hills are wretched. They are not in a good condition. This temple, Khandoba temple, has about 300 steps which are not in a good condition, but she climbs those steps every day to earn some money by doing the job of a guide. So when she explains her conditions and about the hills, the man's attitude towards the woman changes. He looks at the sky and perhaps the blue sky looks like the woman's eye. So I told you this is metaphor used. The figures of speech, the poetic device used here is metaphor. Her eyes looks like the wide blue sky to him. The speaker senses that her eyes are like bullet holes. So he compares to both wide sky and also bullet holes. They are as sharp as the bullet hole. Bullet hole is very small, but the impact on the body is large. So he compares her eyes to the bullet holes and he gets enlightened perception. His perception towards the woman changes after this. The cracks around her eyes seems to be the landscapes around her. So landscapes. It is a hill and there are many cracks, curves on the hill. So her eyes or the cracks, the wrinkles around her eyes is compared to the landscapes around her. And the sky may fall and shatter around her, but she is untouched and shatterproof. The sky may fall, the clouds may burst and shower rain, the hills may collapse, but she remains shatterproof. In this word, while using this word, the poet tries to tell about the womanhood, about the women of the world, that they are shatterproof. They do not die. There is no end for womanhood. They continue. Generations to generation, they continue doing the same for the mankind. They are shatterproof. There is no end for a woman, as it is for our heritage. Next, the speaker feels he has reduced to nothing more than the change in his hand. So how much was she demanding? Just 50 paise, right? So after understanding the woman, the speaker, the poet feels that he has reduced to nothing more than the change in his hand. Means his value is less than the 50 paise what he is holding in his hand, because the woman at that age, at the younger age, we can do a lot of work. But when we are aged, when the body loses its fitness, even working at that age to earn money is not an easy task and it is challenging. This woman is a challenging lady who wants to earn. She can sit in a place and beg for the money, but she isn't willing to do that. She wants to earn her money. So here he feels that his value is reduced for the change in his hand. He does not have that kind of connection to his land as the woman has. So for her land, the poet asks her, why are you here? You can come to the other place and earn some money or stay happily. She replies that she doesn't want to leave that. Where can an old woman go? Where can I, an old woman, can go at this age? I will be here. Though the hill is wretched, though it may fall or whatever may be the condition, I will stay here. So the speaker, he is not having that kind of connection with his land as the woman is having with the land, with the Jejuri, with that Khandoba temple. In the light of trials and tribulations of life, he may remain unimportant and unnoticed. So, if we take the incident of the speaker visiting the Khandoba temple, the woman asking him to come to the horseshoe shrine and demanding him 50 paise, in all this incident, the woman, her memory stays for a long time for the speaker, but the speaker is unimportant in the situation because the woman must have seen many pilgrims who come here and she might have been adamant with all those when they did not give her the 50 paise. So the poet says that he may remain unimportant, but the woman stands unbreakable and strong. Yes, women are always strong. Whatever may be the age, whatever may be their physical condition, they remain strong. Their will power will be strong. That is what the poet is trying to tell us here. So, this is the summary of the poem. Now, we'll discuss some of the questions, short answer type questions and later long answer type questions. These are the questions which are very important, which you need to learn for the examination. So, what is the first question? You in the poem refers to whom? It is anybody. Anybody who goes to the temple, they are referred to as you. What does the old woman offer to do? What does she offer? She calls the pilgrims to the horseshoe shrine to show it. Right? So, she offers to show the horseshoe shrine. What does the old woman demand from the tourist for her service? What is it? It is just 50 paise. She demands just 50 paise from the pilgrims. The old woman's eyes are compared to, they are compared to the blue sky. They are compared to the blue sky. If we go for the long type questions, long answer type questions, how is the plight of the old woman depicted in the poem? So, plight of the old woman, for this you have to explain how an old woman can work. We can work at the youth, but what about when we are old? So, that you have to write in detail, 40 to 80 words. And the old woman reduces the self-esteem of the speaker and makes him feel that he is nothing more than so much small change in his hand. So, you have to write completely how the attitude of the speaker, the poet changes here from the beginning. In the beginning, he wants to get rid of this woman, right? But later his attitude changes and he devalues himself. He feels that he is less valued than the change in his hand. So that you have to explain in this, and this is again for 40 to 80 words. So these are the important questions and answers which may be asked for your examination. To conclude, to say what all we learned that the speaker gets annoyed with the old woman in the beginning for pestering him, for bothering him for just 50 paise, and later the speaker wants to get rid of the lady, rid of that woman, and he doesn't want to see the shrine again. He has already watched the shrine. At the end of the poem, he finds himself getting reduced in his worth and his own esteem, his self-esteem. So, all these we have learnt in the poem. So, this is all about an old woman. Hope you all have understood it well. In the next session, we will discuss Two Gentlemen of Verona, which is written by A.J. Cronin. So, until then, take care, goodbye, and thank you.